This thing that you started, this thing that you're going after, you did not choose on your own. You were assigned to this. So why, if you are following God, why you want to put your hand of control in it so bad now? Why you got to take it all over now? Why you want to put your feelings all over what belongs to your father? It ain't really none of your business anyway. Take your fingers up off of it because it ain't really your business. God's using you. You aren't doing what you want to do. God is using you. He's working through you. And what he has for you is going to bless you, but it's for his glory. You getting what I'm saying? So why are you putting all of this effort and all of this attention and all of this whining and complaining and stressing and all of the wrong type of things and the wrong type of ways on what is God's? You didn't start this on your own. So you got to fall back and play your position. What is your position? Stewardship. And what do I need to be a good steward? Belief. Because for me to even believe that I'm supposed to be stewarding something, let alone steward it the way that I'm supposed to, I need to believe that what I am stewarding belongs to someone else that has given me the assignment to watch over it, even if it's something within me. What it do, what it be like, what it is, what it was, when it ain't, when it was supposed to be. Back and direct, stepping on the devil's neck. What's going on, family? And welcome back to another episode on Fourth Quarter Pressure, where you are always the more and you have never been and you will never be the lesser. I, of course, as always, for those of you who are familiar and are back like chiroprac, am your host, CJ Stokely. And I'm excited, I'm honored, I'm elated, I'm grateful, and I'm thankful to be here with you once again. Now, for the newcomers, this is the Fourth Quarter Pressure Movement. This is the Fourth Quarter Pressure Podcast. At Fourth Quarter Pressure, you do not only get the understanding that you are always the more and never the lesser, but you also get the understanding that you have something on the inside of you that is greater than the version of yourself that you see in the world. And my goal is to help you tap into that, to be in tune with the spirit, to be in alignment with God, because we do not succumb to pressurizing moments that we face. That fourth quarter moment where everything is on the line, where things are tough. You know, you stressing, you sweating, it's getting hard. Hold on now. Getting a little anxious, getting a little nerves getting back. Hold on now. We show up in those moments because we are equipped. And this is where you get equipped. Because when you're equipped, you don't succumb, but you stand up being bold, understanding that you have the power and the ability. And you put pressure, you being that pressure, having that power, that boldness, that thing. You put pressure on pressure in order to overcome pressure. So you put the pressure on the moment in the spiritual warfare that's going on, the things that you're facing. You put pressure on that and you make it go away and you overcome it. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm here for. So those of you who are new, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining. This is going to be a great experience for you, I would like to say. And of course, as always, for me, I'm grateful. So it's always a great experience for me. So with that being said, let's get ready to rock and roll and get into this thing. First, I'd like to say Merry Christmas. We're here, another year, another Christmas. Man, thank God good. May not have looked how you want it. May not have what you want. May not have the resources. May not have the finances. We all listen. If I could tell you everything that was everything, yeah, it's dealing with something. I don't know if that makes sense, but you get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? We all out here struggling, dog. It get rough, it get tough, but we got to keep on pushing. We got to keep on doing what it is that God called us to do. We were never promised that it would be easy, but we were promised that He'd be with us. You know? So let's keep on going. Let's keep on moving. Let's be grateful. Let's be thankful. And let's be excited for Christmas to celebrate Christ's incarnation, right? Not the birth of Christ. Christ already was, right? Jesus, he was the Word, right? But the incarnation of Him on earth, okay? So with that being said, before we get ready to go into this episode, I'm not going to hold you long because I want you to get to your macaroni and cheese, your sweet potato, your collard green, your barbecue chicken, your baked chicken, your lemon pepper wing, whatever it is that you're dressing, your cabbage, your broccoli, your corn, your cream corn, your baked bean. You put a little turkey in the baked bean, a little syrup, a little barbecue sauce, whatever it is that you got going on over there. I want you to get back that little banana pudding, a little peach cobbler, little vanilla ice cream with a peach cobbler, you know what I'm saying, little strawberry ice cream, little Oreo brownie, spring, break it down, put it on up in there, break that thing down. Yeah, Cold Stone type. Yeah, you heard me. Yeah. So I want you to be able to get back to that. So I ain't going to take up too much of your time. But before we get into that, there are a couple things that I want to cover. First off, my apologies for the Glory Gear website being down. I was unaware of that. And now I was made aware of it and got some things moved around, got some things fixed. So if you have not yet, the website is up. It's Christmas time. You can get somebody a Christmas gift, a loved one, family member, a friend, whatever. If you want to get yourself something nice, go ahead. You can. The website is up. It is official glorygear.com. Again, official glorygear.com. It is not the number 2 or the number 3, but it's the number 1 made just for you and me, Christian clothing brand in the world. Go check it out. When you get to that website, you're going to see something called Edgy Chick. It's where you find this wine, you're tough as nails, and you're trying to make sure you don't end up in hell. It's for the ladies. It's for the queens. You know what I'm saying? It's for the dimes. You know what I'm saying? Not to be confused with nines. You get what I'm saying? So it's for you all. It's where you know how to be nice, but you got a little bit of that spice. You get what I'm saying? You're trying to keep it holy. You know what I'm saying? And you let them haters know, hey, back up off me. You don't know me. You get what I'm saying? So go check it out again. Official glorygear.com. You will love what you will see. Trust me. I'm telling you, you'll love it. So go check it out. Get you some. Once you get some, come back, talk to me. And when you come back and talk to me, we can clock the D. Now, also, outside of that, one more thing I must cover. If you would like to donate, if you would like to show some support to this movement, to this podcast, to this ministry, you can do that by going over to Cash App at $. This is for QP. THISIS, the number 4, and QP. It's all lowercase. When you type that in, fourth quarter pressure, the words are going to pop up in caps. If you see that, you know you're at the right place. Whatever you want to give, whatever's on your heart, whatever you want to donate, it's gratefully appreciated. It goes towards this movement, for paying for things, for this ministry, for this movement, so that we can keep on going and keep on blessing people. Because again, I can't do it on my own. So if you'd like to help, you're in the chill for spirit, you want to give, hey, I'd appreciate it. It's going to be used. It's going to be beneficial to this movement and this ministry. So with that being said, let's go. All right. On today's episode, on this Christmas episode, I titled this, Do You Still Believe? Very simplistic question, but very intricate when we take a moment to pause and ask ourselves that question. Do you still believe? Do you believe what God had told you before you started on the journey that you are currently on? We are all pursuing something, or we should be pursuing something. We're all going after something. There is something that God has set before us to go after. And although we don't know exactly what it's going to look like, we don't know exactly how it's going to happen, we don't know exactly when, we started on this journey because of our relationship with God. Now, I want to backtrack and show you our relationship with God has always been off of belief, off of faith. Why? Because we believe in someone that we cannot see. We believe in God. We believe he sent his son, Jesus Christ, to die for our sins. And we accept him in our heart. We believe and we confess that he is our Lord and Savior. All of this is based off of faith. Now, scientifically, you can prove that Jesus was a real human being who walked on this earth, but to believe that he was the Son of God is based off of faith. And in order to believe in that, you have to believe in God. So you believe in God, you believe that his Son is real, you believe he died for our sins. So then you believe everything that is in the Word of God. All of these things are based off of faith. And so then going forward, you begin to live your life off of that. And even if it was the fact that something happened in your life where you said, only God could have done this, only God could have brought me out, or even if God did a miracle and you saw it or you experienced it in your own life, there was something where God showed himself to you to some degree, right? Not his physical self, but he showed you that he was there with you. He did something that is supernatural. It is outside of normality, is outside of comprehension or explanation, right? And so because of all of this, you believed in God. And so this belief is what we call faith, right? The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. And so once you believed in him, you gave your life over to him, you committed to him, and now you begin to follow him. What does that mean? That means that you submitted the control. You said, I'm going to submit to you, Lord, and I'm going to do whatever it is that you've called me to do. I'm going to follow you. I'm going to be obedient. I'm going to try to stay in alignment to the best of my ability, because we are human beings. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to fall short, but we're going to do the best that we can, right? This is the position that we are in. And so when God reveals something to us, this is what I'm calling you to. This is what I've anointed you for. This is what I want you doing. These are the people I want you talking to with your testimony. And this is how I'm going to use it. This is where I'm going to take you. Because a lot of times God will show you, like he did David, show you how you will be the king. He will show you how you're going to be the queen. He will show you where you're going to end up. He will show you what you're going to be doing. He will show you the people that he's calling you to. He will show you how things are going to be. He will tell you exactly what it is that he needs for you to do, but he won't tell you what's going to transpire in the in-between, how long it's going to take to get there, or all of the things that you would face 9 times out of 10, because if he told you, you probably wouldn't do it, but he needs you to be where he needs you to be. So he gives you the blessing of informing you of the greatness that you're going to obtain, but he does not tell you how it's going to happen. Now, a big reason for that is also because you need to have faith. If you are not practicing your faith, then you are not building or strengthening your faith. So then when God gives you what he's going to give you, the higher you go, you keep going higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. When you get on certain levels and it gives you certain things, it's going to come with a certain level of attack. And if you do not have the faith, the belief that he is still going to pull you out of whatever that warfare is, whatever that struggle is, whatever that suffering is on that level of attack, then you cannot withstand being in that position. You see what I'm saying? So God has to allow you to practice your faith in order for you to strengthen your faith. That's the only way that it gets stronger, right? And how does he allow for us to do this? He allows us to do this by saying, hey, I'm going to take you here, but then I'm not going to tell you how. You have to keep leaning not on your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledging him and trusting that he is going to direct your path. He's going to lead you. He's going to guide you. He's going to show you exactly where it is that he has for you and where he's going to take you. You get what I'm saying? And that he's going to get you there in his due time, right? Because that's the only thing that makes the process tricky, is because we want it in our time, right? And so in all of this, we stand in a position where we start going down this journey. We start going down this path because of our faith. And we say, okay, God, because in the beginning of God telling you what he's going to do in your life, there is a level of excitement. But with that excitement comes expectation. And because expectation is connected to it, that means there is emotion connected to it. And emotion is a human thing. It is a human expression. It is not something that is spiritual. It is something that is emotional, right? It is something that is humane. And since it is humane, it can be hard for us to stay on the right track. It can be hard for us to think the way we are supposed to think and not contaminate things in our life because of us being human. Are you getting what I'm saying? So we have to ensure that as we go throughout our journey, as we go throughout our day-to-day lives, and we're going down this path where we are being obedient, and we have started things off, and we are going down this path, that we do not allow for our emotions to make us forget our faith. We don't allow for the things that transpire in our life to get us off track and make us completely do away with what it is that we started this thing off of, right? Because it is easy to go through that. It is easy to experience a phase where it's like, okay, this thing listen, now this ain't looking how I thought it was. And now the same thing that motivated you, the same thing that excited you, the same thing that you attached emotion to has now started to get the best of you, right? Because like I said, the expectation, you have that expectation and you connect emotion to it. But then when things don't happen the way that you wanted them to happen, now that expectation is starting to make you overly emotional, right? Because like I say in the beginning, it's like, man, let's go. I know God gonna do it. I know God gonna do it. And now we got this expectation. Okay, I know God gonna do it. Here's the expectation. And now here comes the emotion. And when the emotion kicks in, now we put a time on it. Okay, it's got to happen in this time. And we even have a silent time limit for when we say we aren't putting a timeline on it, right? There is this silent subconscious timeline that we put on things, even when we don't verbalize or communicate or even put in the forefront of our mind that we're putting a timeline on things or a time limit on things. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is we will hear something from God and we'll say, okay, I know this is what God gonna do. And then we say, but I know God gonna do it in his own time. But then the longer amount of time that goes by, the more time that goes by, we start to think in the back of our mind, dang, he still ain't did it yet. Well, wait a minute now. You said in God's divine time. That means you shouldn't be having that question in the back of your mind. You shouldn't be having that conversation in your head. You shouldn't be having those negative emotions and that frustration on the inside of you because you're not seeing what you want to see in a certain time frame because you didn't put a time frame on it. You said you was going to leave it up to God. It was going to be in God's time. But the reality of it is because we're human, even if it's subconsciously, even if it's in the back of our mind, when we put that expectation and we add that emotion, then comes that timeline, that time frame. We put a timing on it. Dang, God still ain't do it yet. Wait a minute. Is this actually something that he gonna do? Like, is this actually like, whoa, wait a minute now, right? And now here come all of the questions. Now here comes the hesitance. Now here comes being unsettled. Here comes being uneasy. Here comes not really knowing. Here comes all of these things that start to formulate, and none of it comes from a place of truth. It all comes from a place of something that is not quantifiable, which is emotions. The emotions take place. Now here comes the doubt. Wait a minute, that didn't come from the truth. The truth is God. He is the way, the truth, and the light. That's what Jesus says. So if it didn't come from that, then I shouldn't be predicating the things that I say off of it. I shouldn't be predicating the things that I think off of it. I shouldn't be predicating my heart posture and my desires and how I'm moving and the fruits that I'm bearing off of it because it is not of God. Right? So we have to make sure that we're doing a good job of sitting up and saying, okay, I know what God said, and I cannot allow for myself to get so overwhelmed that I fall into a position or so emotional, or I fall into a position where I'm losing the thing that I started this whole journey with, which is my belief. So it makes me ask you the question before we go into our points. Do you still believe? Do you still believe? So I'm going to go through 4 points real quick, and I'm going to get you out of there. Point number 1. You must be consistent in your belief. You must be consistent in your belief. Why? Because everything started with belief. How far you have come is a representation and a reflection of how much belief you had. See, it is possible for you to have belief that is either less, more, or equal to what you once had. And you know how much belief you still have based off how hard you fight. See, your belief becomes your training in the midst of pain. Your belief becomes your training in the midst of suffering. If I'm a boxer, you know how well I have trained and how conditioned I am based on how well I hold up in the later rounds, based off how well I'm still fighting, based off my technique, based off my footwork, based off if I bring my hips into each swing, based off how defensive I am, how calculated I am, how intellectual I am. You could tell I've been watching film on my opponent based off of how I move. And your belief essentially is the same thing. You can start off with a certain level of belief. And as you go down this journey, as you're going after whatever it is that you're going after, you're going to be able to see, other people are going to be able to see how conditioned in your belief you are, how strong in your faith you are, how much you actually believe, because it will show in how much you're still fighting, how diligent you still are, how consistent you still are. Are you more diligent? Are you more consistent? It is possible for your belief to mature you to another level of belief, because your belief will put you in a position where you are in warfare and you are fighting, and by keeping your belief and then overcoming and winning the warfare battle, you will come out on the other side with more belief than what you had before. So it is possible for your belief to be the thing that initializes the maturing and the elevating of your belief going forward. Are you following what I'm saying? So if you allow yourself to get to a place where you say, I am going to be consistent, I am going to be constant, I am going to have belief that is unshakable, and I'm going to let this belief keep growing. I'm going to let this belief keep developing me. I'm going to let this belief keep maturing me, because there is a version of myself that I need to be, that God knows I'm going to get to, and I cannot get to it and be where God has called me to be unless I allow the consistency in my belief to take place, because this is where it all started, with my belief. And anything that I start as a responsible individual, whether it be spiritual or non-spiritual, whether it be in my natural life or whether it be in the spirit realm, in my intimacy with God and what He's called me to, I must finish. And you cannot finish without consistency. You cannot get to a thing without consistency. So you have to make a decision in your mind. I started with this. So why would I let go of what gave me the strength to start something that I didn't choose for myself anyway? You ain't following what I'm saying. So this thing that you started, this thing that you're going after, you did not choose on your own. You were assigned to this. So why, if you are following God, why you want to put your hand of control in it so bad now? Why you got to take it all over now? Why you want to put your feelings all over what belongs to your Father? It ain't really none of your business anyway. Take your fingers up off of it, because it ain't really your business. God's using you. You aren't doing what you want to do. God is using you. He's working through you. And what He has for you is going to bless you, but it's for His glory. You getting what I'm saying? So why are you putting all of this effort and all of this attention and all of this whining and complaining and stressing and all of the wrong type of things and the wrong type of ways on what is God's? You didn't start this on your own. So you got to fall back and play your position. What is your position? Stewardship. And what do I need to be a good steward? Belief. Because for me to even believe that I'm supposed to be stewarding something, let alone steward it the way that I'm supposed to, I need to believe that what I am stewarding belongs to someone else that has given me the assignment to watch over it, even if it's something within me. You get what I'm saying? So we have to take on a responsibility to say, okay, everything started with my belief. I need to keep going with this belief. Point number 2, belief is the only thing that will finish it. There is nothing else that will get you to the finish line other than belief. See, the misconception that we have, because sometimes we tend to think higher of ourselves than we ought to. We tend to become arrogant and prideful. Sometimes we begin to throw an emotional hissy fit. And because of that, we try to take control of things and come up with strategies and ways to get to the finish line, when the reality of it is, this is a God thing. You did not start this. God started this. And in order for you to be on the line, to go forward, to run the race that God has put you in the lane to run, you needed belief. But let's not get it misconstrued. This entire thing that God is doing with you, for you, and through you is completely on Him. It has everything to do with Him. And so you as an individual have to be at a place where you say, okay, I need to make sure that I finish this, and nothing is going to allow for me to get to the finish line except for belief, because this is not something that I can dictate or control. But that's what we do. We try to control the narrative. We try to come up with our own ideas. We try to come up with our own strategies. And then as Christians, as believers, sometimes what we do is we try to backtrack and say, well, God didn't say anything, so I figured I'd just try something out. I figured I'd just go for it. I figured I'd just go over here and do this and do that and do this. And if God didn't want me to do it, He would tell me. If God don't want me to do it, then He gonna show me. If God don't want me to, okay, wait a minute now, but don't do too much now. Don't be too eager now. Don't move too quick now. You got to take some accountability and responsibility about where you are spiritually to be able to be making decisions and moving on your own. Are you someone who is genuinely wise enough spiritually by godly wisdom? Are you somebody that operates in the spirit of discernment? Because if so, then you have a sense of a safety net, because you are operating in your spiritual gifts. You are operating in tune with the Holy Spirit. Before you're stepping and doing things, you're getting clarity. Before you're making decisions, or you're turning certain directions, or you're getting in certain things and you're taking certain opportunities, you're getting revelation. You're discerning, you're sensing, you're picking up on, is this God or is this not? And you're moving with godly wisdom, rather than saying, wait a minute, I'm just going to do whatever. And then if this ain't for me, then God going to tell me. No. You have to know where you are spiritually before you just start making decisions, because a lot of individuals are not individuals where they can just discern things easily. They can pick up on in the spirit on things easily. They can sense easily, okay, this is God, this ain't God. Okay, this what I'm supposed to be doing, this what I ain't supposed to. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear nothing specifically from God, but I'm going to go over here and do this, and I'm going to be able to pick up in the spirit if this is right or if this feels like God. A lot of people can't do that. So if you're someone who cannot do that, then you need to be sitting and waiting on God's timing. God, until I hear you say something, until you give me confirmation, until you put somebody in front of me and I can see that this is a divine connection, I'm not going to move. I'm not going to do anything. Because at the end of the day, this course, this path, this thing that you have me chasing and following, I have to finish it. And if I try to take control, I'm not going to finish it. You are not going to get yourself to the finish line. Your friends, your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your uncle, anybody that you ain't nobody gonna get you to the finish line other than God. And if God is the only way to get to the finish line, then that means belief has to be the thing that predicates and dictates action. It has to be the thing that formulates thoughts. It has to be the thing that creates heart posture. It has to be the thing that keeps you in a position of alignment. Because if you are in a position where you're operating in true belief, then you should be operating in true obedience as a byproduct of that belief. And if obedience is a byproduct of that belief, then success has to be manifested. Even as you go throughout the process, success is being manifested. See, you have to start looking at the process in entirety as success. See, you're looking at the end of the thing and calling it success, but you are not looking at each and everything that is transpiring throughout the journey and calling it success. The fact that you are operating in obedience is success. The fact that you are walking down the path of what God has called you to is success. The fact that you know there is an expected end is success. The fact that you are operating and doing exactly what it is that God is calling you to do, you are successful. So you're looking at the end and you're saying that's success, but not realizing you are successful. Your whole process is full of success. Even when failure, which if we look at, is not failure because all things work together for our good. So it's really transition. It's really learning, right? Even that in itself is a part of the success journey. So the whole process is full of success. So you have to start looking at what you got going on and saying, I am successful. I am full of success, not just when I get there, but on my way there. You get what I'm saying? What else? Point number 3. To ensure that you still are believing, right? You have to find happiness in the process. You have to find happiness as you walk this journey out. I know things don't feel the way that you expected them to feel. I understand. But those were your expectations. And God is not obligated to communicate certain things with you so that you can predicate your expectations off of them. He does not owe you that. He has given you more than what you deserve already. So you have to take on the responsibility to say, I'm going to find happiness rather than running to disbelief. Because you should still be believing like how you did when you started, if not more. Now is not the time to surrender your belief to doubt. Now is not the time to take on a mentality that is not a reflection of God just because this thing is taking longer than what you wanted it to. You have to find ways and strategies to fight against your flesh. We understand that we are to beat our flesh into submission. We understand that we are to die to our flesh. We understand that we are to kill off our flesh. Yes, we get it, but sometimes it's never talked about how. Yes, we can get in the word. Yes, we can pray. Yes, we can worship. But sometimes it is still a struggle. Sometimes you have to strategize in the natural to fight off certain temptations, certain things that come against you in the natural, but you have to do it out of a place of godly wisdom. So your godly wisdom will come and it will say, okay, in the natural, this is how I need to strategize to fight off this temptation. I'm going to start finding things that make me happy in the midst of the process. If I got to call it a distraction for myself, then that's what I will call it, as long as it's not an unrighteous distraction. Because if it ain't an unrighteous distraction, then actually it's benefiting me and keeping me in a place of peace and calm and serenity. So I have to figure out as a believer, while I'm going after this thing, when I am in positions where I'm struggling with my belief, I have to, number one, remember to hold on to what I started with, which is my belief. But then I also must say, I need to find things that will give me peace and happiness. What do I like to do? Is it going outside? Is it taking time to myself? Is it taking extra showers? Is it sitting in my room and watching a movie by myself and popping some popcorn? Is it going down to the lake and just sitting by the water? Is it taking cruises by myself and listening to worship music? Whatever it is, you have to find things as you are on the path to what it is that God has for you, and you are believing, and you are waiting, and you are trusting, and you are holding on to your faith, and it is getting hard. You cannot allow for your mind to focus solely on what is going on as you are on the path to your purpose. You cannot allow your mind to be consumed with just everything that is transpiring, because if you focus on everything that you're seeing in front of you, it will overwhelm you. You have to be able to stop for a second and say, this is a lot. I need to find my things that are going to make me happy. I need to find my things that's genuinely going to bring me joy. For me, for example, one of my things is going to the movies. It is something that me and my father have done since I was a child. I mean, since I was little, like growing all the way up. We would go to 2, 3, 4 movies per week. And every single time I would get the same thing. We go to the same movie theater. I have to make sure I had my large popcorn, I had my soda, and I always used to mix a whole bunch of sodas together. So, because I was good with it, I came up with all the best little mixes and flavors and styles and stuff. So I had my large popcorn, knowing I couldn't eat the whole large popcorn by myself, but I needed my own large popcorn, large drink, and a strawberry lemonade frozen cup every time. Sometimes I get funnel fries, sometimes I get some gummies too. You know what I'm saying? And every time we went to the movies, this is how we would do it. Even if it was 2 movies in a day, sometimes we did that. But because this was something for me that was almost kind of sacred, it was peaceful, it was my happy place. And to this day, all these years later, I will go to the movies by myself. I will sit in a theater by myself. I will go to a movie twice in one day, same movie. Well, I will go to 2, 3 different movies in a day. It don't matter to me. I will go to the movies, see a movie, and come home, lay in my bed, and cut on another movie. I am a movie fanatic. And in the midst of me going through struggles and things in my life, that is something that I say, okay, this makes me happy. So while I'm waiting on God, and while yes, it's stressful, and while yes, it's frustrating, all these other things to my flesh and to my emotions, I have something that takes me away from how I feel. Yes, I'm in the word. Yes, I'm going to pray. Yes, I'm going to sing, and I'm going to shout, and I'm going to worship. I'm going to do all the good stuff, right? But I also have something that genuinely makes me happy outside of that. And if you are going to survive the process, the journey, and still be able to hold on to your belief or increase your belief or even keep the same level of belief, you're going to need something that just here and there, you can say, this makes me happy. I want to go do that. You got me. Point number 4, last point. Look at your wins. Look at your wins. Too many times, because we are focused on the end of a thing, we feel that we are in a position of loss. And we feel that the position of loss is continuous because we have a certain perspective on how things should be going. We have a certain perspective on success. And so when we do not see what we deem to be success manifesting the way that we feel it should, we feel as though we are losers. And we are in a position where we are constantly losing because we say, that's where I'm supposed to be. That's what I'm going for. That's the goal. That's what God told me I would have. And until I have that, I am not successful. I am not a winner. But that is a lie from the pit of hell, because God would not put you through a process that is taking so long to get you somewhere, lest it was things that he wanted you to have, obtain, versions of you he wanted you to become, wisdom he wanted to give you, skills and talents and perspectives and viewpoints he wanted you to have that you did not have prior to going through the process. And if you don't pay attention to all of that, you won't even be able to tap into it when you need it at the next level. Because if you obtain all of those things and you get to the next level, you will get hit with warfare to fight something that in all reality you have now gained and obtained and matured to having the tools to fight, but you won't even recognize that they're in there and be able to pull from them, because as you were going through the process, you never paid attention to what God had developed on the inside of you. You never paid attention to your wins. So now you show up in the face of a monster, in the face of a storm, not even realizing that you got the level of spirituality and power to speak to it and tell it to calm down. So instead, you end up running to somebody else, say, oh my God, what do? I don't know how to deal with this. What am I supposed to? And the whole time God is saying, now I just took you through this whole process. I just took you through this maturation period. You got all these skills, all this wisdom, you got all this spirituality and all this spiritual ability, and you don't even realize that you have it in you to use it because you weren't looking at the wins along the way. Remember, this is a process. The whole process, you are being successful. When you are being obedient to God, you are successful. The process is full of success. Therefore, every single time you bump your head, you get back up, that's a win. Every single time you gain some more knowledge and you gain some more wisdom and you grow in spirituality, every time you read a little bit more word, or every time you pray for somebody else, every time you minister to somebody else, every time you get a little bit more confident, every time you walk around with more fruits of the Spirit, every time you serve, every time you laugh and you smile and you bless somebody's day, every time you are reflecting righteousness on this path, you are winning. And if you cannot recognize when you win, then you will call yourself something that you are not. You will identify as a loser until you obtain what satisfies your flesh and what feels like winning to you. Are you with me? So you gotta count. You gotta count your wins. Oh, God, let me wake up today. That's a win. Thank you, Lord. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I made it to my job okay today. Oh, that's a win, Lord. Thank you. Because if it was up to the devil, he came to steal, kill, and destroy. He would want me out of here. But Lord, you encamped your angels around me. You are gracious. You are merciful. We got another W. Oh, wait a minute. A great opportunity happened today. Somebody provoked me and I responded with peace, love, and a sound mind. Oh, wait a minute now, dog. That is a win, because before I got in this process, I didn't have the patience to deal with that. Before I got in this process, I didn't have the tolerance. I might would have backhand you across the room, but God kept my hand and he said, vengeance is mine. And because I was in my word, because of the process, I remembered the verse. It came to my mind right off the top of my head. I didn't even have to sit and wait and think about it. It just subconsciously just popped up because of what's stirring up in my spirit. See, I'm in a good place. I'm in a good space. So everything that's coming out of me, I'm seeing that I'm winning. Oh, thank you, God, for my victories. Hold on, wait a minute now. Somebody cut me off on the road. And I remember not too long ago, I would have jumped out my car and tried to chase them down on foot. It didn't make no sense. I know it ain't logical, but my emotions would have got the best of me and I would have been doing something I ain't had no business. But God kept me in my seatbelt. I see, look, I'm praying and I'm working. I cut some gospel music on and I ain't act like a fool. And it is all because I am having victories and I'm having wins because of the process. So if I start counting all my wins. Look at how I'm doing. Look at this right here. Look. I'm winning. I'm winning. No, it's not the big, nice goal, the big, nice prize that I'm focused on. But if I take my focus off of just that and I focus on everything else that is being added to me until I get there, because getting there ain't for me anyway, then I'm going to be A-okay. And me and God, we ain't going to have no problem with me keeping my belief, dog, because my belief going to be intact. Because I focus my mind on the facts. And those facts are, I started this thing with belief. I started this thing based off a faith-based relationship with my Lord and Savior. He gave me the assignment. I sacrificed, submitted, and now I'm in alignment, and I'm going to keep my belief, and I'm going to let my belief grow. And I'm gonna let it be the thing that gets me over the mountaintops, the thing that gets me over the struggles and feeling overwhelmed. I'm gonna let it be the thing that keeps promoting me through pain, through pressure, through problems. I'm gonna keep letting it push me because I'm not gonna lose my belief. Whatever it is that God told you he's going to do, whatever you are believing God for, whatever God has communicated and said and he's put in your heart, in your spirit, on your mind, whatever you have declared out of your mouth, whatever has been prophesied or spoken, whatever it is, God is going to do it. And even if you have to say that with doubt in your mind, say it anyway. Because life and death is in the power of your tongue. And if you speak it anyway, watch that thing happen. Sometimes, I'm going somewhere. Hold on now. Sometimes your speech has the power to usurp your doubt. Sometimes when you don't actually even believe, or when there is a little speck of doubt in there inside of you, when you are saying things out of your mouth, you saying it anyway, because life and death is in the power of the tongue. The life that is in what you are saying that aligns with what God has said will come together and begin to manifest things down the timeline that you can't even see. And it will manifest things because you released it despite what you feel. Sometimes the warfare we face is going to be between our doubt and what God said. And it will be between the mind and the emotions. It will be between the facts and the feelings. And sometimes in order to win that fight, you have to feel the doubt that you feel, but still say what it is that you believe. Still say what it is that God said. Still say what it is that you heard. Still say what it is that you know God said he's going to do, even when what you feel is that it might not happen. Even when a little bit of doubt is in there, even when in your gut, in your stomach, you like, there ain't no way, I'm too old, it's too late, it ain't gonna happen. Even when you feel like that, let it out of your mouth anyway. And because of the life and death that is in the power of your tongue, that power has the ability to usurp the level of doubt that you have down on the inside of you and prove your doubt to be wrong. Are you following what I'm saying? That's good. So the power of the tongue has the ability to prove your inner doubt wrong. Oh man. So that's it for this episode. I hope that it blessed you. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you took something from it. And I hope that this serves as a reminder to you to stop. Ask yourself the question, do I still believe? Is my belief the same? Has it dwindled? Have I lost it? Is it greater? That's the goal, right? Am I being consistent in my belief? Where do I stand? Because it is possible sometimes to just kind of let yourself go and just float along the way. Just can't even feel anything anymore, just numb. It's possible. But that's not what you're called to. That can't be the end goal, right? So ask yourself the question, do I still believe? And if that answer is not an answer that aligns with what God would have for you to do, or who God is calling you to be, or who you know you're supposed to be, or what you're supposed to be doing, I challenge you to say, I refuse to have come this far just to stop believing. I refuse to have come this far just to sit up and let doubt consume me and my mind. I will not let it happen. I will be who I'm called to be. And I will reflect in my life, in action. I will put it in action. Even if a little bit of doubt's still in there, I will put in action that I have belief, that I have faith, that God will do what he said he's going to do. I will speak the language that says I have the belief and I have the faith, despite whether I got a little bit of doubt in there or not. Are you with me? So, with all that being said, do you still believe? I think you do. If you didn't before, I think you do now. You understand me? Huh? I think you do. I know you do. You got it. Don't give up. Don't quit. You got it. We got it. Because trust me, oh boy, I understand the struggle. Listen, I go through so much spiritual warfare and so many struggles and wanting to give up and quit and all that. And I come and I pour my heart out and I serve and I minister because this is what I'm called to. But understand, ooh, brother, I'm right there with you. But day by day, we get better and better until we are fourth quarter pressure. You got me? So, as we always like to end this, you are always the more. And you have never been and you will never be the lesser. And we, you big dog, you sir, you king, you queen, you ma'am, you Miss Lady, and me, CJ Stokely, the man that is here to serve you all and bless you all and give you everything that I have. CJ Stokely. We are fourth quarter pressure. God bless you. And I will see you next time. Merry Christmas.